Hello, my friends. Today we will take a journey to the past to discover the origins of our beliefs and spirituality. Chapter 1. The Search for the Heavens. Since the dawn of humanity, something within us has always looked upward. The stars, distant and silent, seem to whisper secrets we yearn to understand. Who are we? Why do we exist? And what lies beyond the veil of the visible? These questions echoed in the caves, in the temples, in the minds of the wise, and in the hearts of the simple. Gods, myths, and symbols were born from this ancestral fascination. The fire, the thunder, the sun, everything seemed to contain a hidden spirit, a divine presence. It was the beginning of the eternal human search for the sacred. And as each civilization raised its eyes to the heavens, something greater was born within man, the awareness that there was something beyond matter. A mystery that, even after millennia, still calls us, inspires us, and moves us. And if the gods we so eagerly sought were always within us, if this journey has already awakened something within you, leave your like, subscribe to our channel, activate the bell to not miss any episode of the human journey, and share with those who love epic stories of humanity. Chapter 2. The Search for the Gods. From the plains of Sumeria to the pyramids of Egypt, from Mount Olympus to the sacred forests of India, man erected temples, statues, and prayers to the invisible. Each culture, in its own language and belief, tried to decipher the same mystery. Who governs the fate of the world? The ancients saw in the winds the breath of the gods, in the mountains the throne of the immortals, and in the stars the eyes that watched humanity. The gods were not just distant beings. They were reflections of our desires, fears, and hopes. The warrior saw strength in Mars. The wise saw wisdom in Thoth. The lover saw beauty in Aphrodite. Each deity represented a fragment of the human spirit projected onto the heavens. But what if all these divine faces were merely mirrors? And if man, in creating his gods, was trying to understand himself? This is the true essence of the search: to find, through the sacred, the meaning of one's own being. The gods we worship may be the same ones that dwell in silence within us. Chapter 3. The Power of Myths. Myths. Oh, the myths. Since the dawn of civilizations, they were the invisible thread that wove human thought. Each story told around a campfire, each legend carved in stone, hid truths that common language could not explain. Man stole fire from the gods, but what he truly brought to humanity was the flame of knowledge. Isis, by reassembling Osiris's body, taught that love conquers even death, and Krishna, with his serene smile, revealed that the hardest war is the one we fight within ourselves. Myths were not lies. They were mirrors of the human soul. They spoke of courage, betrayal, faith, hope, emotions that cross centuries and still live in each of us. When we hear these stories, something awakens within. It's as if we recognize an ancient echo, a memory that never faded. Myths survive because they speak of what never dies: the human spirit. Chapter 4. The Human Spirit in Evolution. Time passed. Empires fell, temples became ruins, and the ancient gods fell silent. But something remained, the flame that never goes out, the human spirit. Today we no longer build altars of stone, but we continue to seek meaning, purpose, and transcendence. We traded spears for telescopes, scrolls for algorithms, but the question remains the same: who are we in this vast universe? Each advance of humanity, from science to art, from philosophy to faith, is a new way of touching the divine. What was once worship has become discovery. What was fear has transformed into curiosity, and what was mythology has become self-knowledge. Perhaps the gods never left. Perhaps they simply changed places, from the sky to within us. In every act of compassion, in every gesture of courage, in every dream that drives us, the divine continues to manifest, evolving alongside us. The true spiritual journey is to discover that the most sacred temple is the human heart. Chapter 5. Inspirational Climax. And so we arrive at the moment that transcends time and space, the encounter with the divine within us. The gods who once lived in temples and legends now dwell in every act of courage, every gesture of love, every dream that propels us. This is where humanity realizes we don't need to search outside for what has always been within. In the eyes of the explorer, in the art of the creator, in the determination of the wise, all of this is the reflection of the eternal spirit. When we look at our own lives with awareness, every challenge transforms into opportunity, every fear into learning, every loss into wisdom. The human heart carries within it the divine spark that myths tried to explain for millennia. The gods may have 1,000 names, 1,000 faces, 1,000 stories, but the sacred fire has always burned in the human heart. It is the force that lifts us, guides us, and connects us to something greater than ourselves. Chapter 6. Closure. The final reflection. And so, we have traversed centuries, civilizations, and myths, discovering that the gods and legends were not just stories. They were mirrors of the human soul. They taught us courage, love, hope, and the eternal search for meaning. What once seemed distant and unattainable now shines within each of us. The divine resides in our own spirit. Every act of kindness, every pursued dream, every obstacle overcome is a spark of that eternal flame. Humanity has never stopped evolving, and each of us carries the responsibility and privilege of continuing this journey. The past inspires us, the present challenges us, and the future calls us to be greater than we ever imagined. In the end, perhaps the most powerful myth is the one that awakens us to the greatness that has always existed within us. If you enjoyed this journey, leave your like, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell to not miss any episode of The Human Journey, and share with everyone who loves to explore the spirit and history of humanity. Because stories like this deserve to be lived and shared. A big hug. Stay with God. And until next time,